Starting a property project with no money might seem like a bit of a pipe dream, but what if I told you you could start your own property venture with little to no money? There are creative funding strategies out there that you can utilize whereby you do not need to put down a deposit when you're building a house or renovating a new one. So the first way to structure this type of deal is what we call a deferred purchase agreement. So this is where the ownership of the property remains with the seller, you complete the works, and then following the works, you then buy the property once the works have been completed. For example, you agree an upfront price of $250,000. You then spend £100,000 on the works of the property and you uplift the value to £400,000. Now we have lenders in place that will lend 75% of the open market value, that's $400,000. So the loan amount at 75% will be $300,000, meaning that at the time of purchasing, out of the $300,000, $250,000 will be paid to the seller. The other $50,000 can be used to pay for legal fees, professional fees, as well as stamp duty. This type of transaction is super niche. At the time of shooting this video, there's only a handful of lenders that are actually doing it, and it hasn't even been baked into policy yet. But the good news is these lenders will lend on a standard buy-to-let basis, meaning that you can bypass bridging finance entirely. If you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Jonathan. I founded SPV Mortgages, which is a specialist finance brokerage around 6 years ago. Over that period of time, we've helped hundreds of property investors start and build successful portfolios. My channel is all about sharing the experiences I have with them with you. The second way is a deferred payment purchase. So this is when you've agreed a price with the seller, but no monies have changed hands. The seller effectively has a charge on the property at the price that's been agreed. You then develop the property or develop the land. Once the works have been completed, the lender's paid first, then the seller, and then yourself. Now to sweeten the deal, you can also bake in a profit split between you and the seller to sweeten things. Here's how it could look. So you agree a price of $500,000, the ownership of the property or land changes to your SPV limited company, the lender takes a charge over the property without the $500,000 paid to the seller. The seller and you enter into a contract which states the seller will be paid £500,000 plus 50% of the profit minus financing and sales costs. The seller has a second charge over the property for £500,000 which sits above the lender's first charge. The lender then funds 100% of the cost of works upfront in tranches, no deposit required and not in arrears. The property then sells for $1 million, $300,000 is paid to the lender to cover the cost of the works, interest and fees, and you split the remaining $200,000 50-50 if the deal includes a profit split. If not, £200,000 is yours. 100% lending is by far the most popular structures that we put in place for clients at SPV Mortgages. It works unlike a deferred payment purchase or deferred cash purchase. You purchase the property at the agreed price or land at the agreed price with the seller upfront, but you're financing 100% of those purchase costs. Now, this type of financing structure is suitable for those who are cash poor, asset rich. For example, if you've got background properties, that could be your residential home or buy-to-lets, the lender will charge your buy-to-lets or residential property if there's enough equity in there to cover the difference and the loan amount on the subject property that you're looking to purchase, whether that be a house or a piece of land. So effectively what you've got is a charge on the new property and then a charge on a background property, which then covers 100% of the lending. What we can also do as well is include 100% of the cost of works baked into the same product. So essentially, all you need to do is cover the cost of stamp duty, professional fees, valuation fees, but that's it. No deposit requirements at all. Now, to save you time and money, I asked my development team to build me one of the most sophisticated bridging calculators in the whole of the UK. It's completely free to use. You can access it at my site, spvmortgages/bridging calculator. So here are two real life examples of financing structures at 100% that we helped clients with back in 2024. So the first was a client looking to purchase a new residential property. So we charged his existing residential property to purchase the new one. So he bought the new one at 100%, so no money down. He then renovated the new property. And then what we did was with the existing one, we moved that into an SPV that's now making a handsome rental income. And then we ported the existing residential mortgage over to the new property and cleared the 100% lending. Our client found a seller that owned a plot of land to build two houses, so planning permission had already been granted. But the seller wasn't in a position to move forwards with the financing, nor were they in a hurry to sell the plot of land. So my client structured a deal with them to say they would be eligible for a lump sum at the end of building the two properties. So Effectively, my client was taking on all of the risk along with the lender, and the seller just had to sit back, wait for the 2 properties to be built, sold, and then they would get paid. Once the 2 houses were built, the lender got paid first, then the seller, and then my client. There's a new trend occurring in the property investment space, one that takes advantage of a 40-year tax which hasn't changed, and one which I think will continue to grow in the future. If you're interested in learning about that, watch this.